right, round 3, Apex Open 2021, sponsored by Premium Family Contracting and Dynamic Discs.
This is round 3, front 11, because we added a couple of holes to Cherry Hill's normal 18 to make a 22-hole layout for this Sunday morning. We got Edwin Rodriguez and Daniel Pfaff leading the tournament. And then a few strokes back, you got Jeremy Salvi. And rounding out our lead card is going to be our very own Huntington Coates.
He held on to the lead, man. For lead card.
Honestly, after that wet round, Edwin just put it down. He shot 12 down.
Yeah, he was shooting hot.
Yeah, nobody could catch him.
Pretty incredible. Hole 1's playing about 300 feet. We set a temporary basket for this on the side of the hill over here. You see those blue signs next to it? Those are because this is a Dynamic Discs 5K, 10K ace challenge for this round. So if anybody hits an ace on this hole, they're making good money.
Indeed. Nobody hit it, though.
Nobody hit it this year.
Spoiler alert. We'll be back next year with it, though. It's kind of a Apex Open requisite now. We'll always have this challenge part of our championship round.
Absolutely.
So I think we're feeling some nerves here. The wind is ripping. There's probably 10 to 15 mile an hour winds. Maybe some more with the gusts. Edwin making it over the hazard and looking pretty good at the basket over there.
Looks like Daniel caught some of that wind in an early tree.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see the players showing their discs to Andre, the cameraman down there. That is part of the 5K, 10K Ace Challenge. You have to say your name and what disc you're throwing before you tee off, which just increases the nerves that much more.
Right.
And normally for this hole, we don't have that hazard sitting in the middle of the fairway, but because the Ace Challenge is just right there in the open, we had to add a little bit difficulty to it. So you either really got to push it or lay it up.
Mm-hmm.
And that hazard is sitting about 280 to 295, 300 maybe.
Yeah, it's about 20 feet wide, 25.
All these players are looking to be over that hazard in one if they can.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that wind just a little too nose up, and that wind just stalled it out. And again, I end up in the same spot as round 2.
Daniel short of the hazard on his tee shot, I believe.
Oh, yeah, that wind.
Mm-hmm.
Exposed that nose, and she gone.
Huntington with a very similar putt to yesterday. Solid layup.
I want to give a shout out to Andre here, staying out there all day, taking camera footage of all the guys for the Ace Race deal. It's not easy to do. It's very time consuming, so thank you, Andre, for doing that.
Indeed. Yeah, Andre is part of Team Apex. It's nice to have a whole team. Wow.
Oh,
what
my
a great
goodness.
putt. Just barely missed it.
You guys will notice we swapped the basket for this hole from rounds 1 and 2 to round 3. That was in hopes that if anybody hit chains, it would actually stick in on this Mach 5. Thanks to Josh Fish for bringing that out.
Edwin, that was first 2. He's feeling the nerves, I think, a little bit. It was still a good putt, just a little low.
No twos on this hole this round. These guys are definitely looking for the birdie here. Most holes this course are birdieable. I would say a good round is somewhere in the 8 to 12 under range, with Edwin's 12 under from yesterday being incredible. Hole 2, 260 feet, playing up this hill and finishing to the right. There's a little pink paint line in between this fairway and hole 8's fairway with some pink flags. That plays out of bounds. So all these guys are going to try to stay to the right of that. Edwin crushing on a backhand. Looks like the wind knocked it down a little bit.
Stays in bounds. He's got a bit at the basket there, probably around 50 feet. Here's Jeremy on the tee.
Whoa.
Backhand turnover.
Got that one nice and high.
Yeah, this one's going to work out nice.
Oh, man, that is parked. Great
Mhm.
shot.
Here I am throwing the Rask again. Parked it in round 2, so I thought, even with the wind, I'll still give it a bid, but cut out a little short on me. I just didn't give it enough, but it got clean.
Better to do that than go OB to the left, though. So
Right.
not the end of the world.
Oh, you see that? That wind took that disc.
Bounce.
Oh, and almost hit the cameraman. And if I remember correctly, he does that multiple times this round. He almost hits Dan like 3 or 4 times.
Huntington just pitching up for your par. Nothing wrong with that on this hole. This one plays pretty tough. Daniel doing the same.
Looks like everyone's lining up.
A little high, hits that tree, sits right next to the basket.
No harm done.
Yeah, Jeremy cleaning up there, first 2. Daniel cleans up. Here I am taking my 3. Let me tell you, this I've never been on coverage before, except for yesterday. So this is my second time being on coverage, as well as being on lead card in an open field, and my nerves were through the roof. I was trying my best to calm on multiple breaths, but it's tough.
Definitely adds another layer of difficulty to the round. You're just not working on your disc golf skills, but also your mental game as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hole 3, 185 feet up the hill. Plays quite a bit further than that. Jeremy's going to try to stay under the low ceiling, but above the ground. Pretty tight window to get through, to get parked on this one. A little too much hyzer there, but he's still got a putt. Probably 28 feet.
Yeah, that was a good shot. Here's Edwin lining up. Just throws it a little low there.
Yeah, this hole is a little bit difficult because you have to throw with the grade of the hole. A lot of times you end up just throwing straight right into the hill.
Mm-hmm.
And the course is called Cherry Hill for a reason. There are tons of rollaways to be had out here as well.
I got caught up in the trees over there to the right. It's gonna be a tough upshot to get up there.
There's Daniel repping his Caliber shirt. If you haven't played Caliber Disc Golf Course up in Sandpoint, Idaho, you got to get up there.
Definitely one of my top 3 courses to play. You can put it up there with Milo MacGyver, Rock Hill. Yeah, it's a prestigious course.
Absolutely. Here's Edwin for his birdie. Oh man, that's quite the run from back there.
Wow.
Thankfully, it sat on the roll.
Yeah, that was very fortunate.
Man, very aggressive.
Ooh.
Oh,
man.
no.
What a great putt.
Looks like Daniel's all smiles. He's a pretty positive player.
Yeah, it was a pleasure playing with Daniel.
Jeremy just off right. I played with him second round and he tore it up to get on the lead card for this round.
That was for my 3. That was Edwin's 3. Daniel's 3.
Jeremy tapping in as well. Hole 4, 175, playing down the hill here. There's a couple of different plays for this pin. You can throw a little soft forehand flex type of deal, or just a soft backhand straight at the pin. You don't want to go too far because the grade drops away and you can get stuck in the trees behind the basket. And there's plenty of stuff to miss to get through the primary gap off the tee as well.
Looks like Jeremy's up first.
Opting for the backhand. He's got out a little early. going to have a tough upshot from there.
Looks like Edwin's up next, going for that same backhand route.
Saw Jeremy go early left, and Edwin overcorrects and goes early right.
Being on this card, I can tell that everybody's feeling the nerves. I mean, we were all, trying to create a good vibe on the score or on the card, but it's hard to get out of that mental game a little bit.
Great shot right there.
Yeah, nicely done.
Yeah, I had to really make a choice there. I said, I'm not going to go left or right. I'm going to go right down the middle.
You nailed it. There's Daniel making that same choice.
Again, almost hitting the cameraman. That's number 2.
No tree load that time.
No, he'll have a fun circle 2 comebacker on that one.
And that's a tough upshot right there, especially throwing forehand.
Edwin's got a similar shot. That came in a little hot. Did it end up sticking?
Yeah, it's pretty close to the basket.
Okay, that's a nice shot. Jeremy for his par. Ah, bummer. Off the cage.
Inches and birdies.
And this is for Daniels too. He was clean and ended up, I'd say 40, 45.
Man. Low ceiling putt up the hill like that. That's a tough one. Good bid.
Oh, you know what? I think Edwin did pick up and roll.
Still almost made it.
Yeah, he was right there. This is for my 2.
Nice putt.
I got some strokes on the card with that one.
Tough to get strokes on these guys. Got to capitalize when you can, right?
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Daniel cleans up. Edwin
For his 3? 4.
for his 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So unfortunately, through 4 holes, Edwin's working the wrong way, but plenty more golf left.
Back to hole 5. 240 uphill. Plays more like 320. Big hazard on the right.
Just want to throw, for all these right-handed players, you want to throw big ol' hyzer on this one. And the hazard does end at one point, so if you can just get past the hazard, then you don't have to worry about it so much.
Ripping that PD2 again.
Mm-hmm.
This is looking very nice. Great shot. About 15, 20 feet long.
Yeah, I think it was like 20 to 25 with that. It was tough with the wind here. Like, it was swirling. You couldn't really tell if it was a tailwind or a headwind coming up that hill, coming up and down the hill.
Yeah, it looks like you guys both went pretty over stable discs.
Yeah.
Worked out pretty well. Jeremy's got big power. I'm sure he's trying to get this hole. Got the distance. Yep, that's going to putt.
I'm thinking Edwin wants to do the same thing.
Oh, that looks a little right.
It looks like he turned it over.
Thankfully, he's past the hazard.
Yeah, he cleared the hazard. But this is a tough shot here. So he's got to go over these trees in this wind. And what happens is it doesn't even sit on the ground. It just hits that tree bush.
Oh, my goodness.
That is...
You can tell it just took off rolling down the hill.
It was running.
Wow, and what an obstructed putt to try to save par. No way.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
That one's not quite as bad. He's probably 20, 25 feet here.
Sit.
And
there
just
it is.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. I know. And honestly, as a card, we felt so... We were hurting for him. You know? And I think I took it into this putt right here, too. Just complete airball. Lack of focus, maybe.
Here's Jeremy for his 2. Whoa.
Oh.
Then in
basket was very frustrated this round.
Yeah. Jeremy cleans up nicely. Edwin saying, "Get me off this hole, please."
On to the next.
Hole 6, 450 feet playing down the hill. This hole is tricky, especially with the wind that you guys have during this round. Tough to know exactly what your disc is going to do. You want to play something that's going to finish pretty hard to the left to get to this pin position, but yeah, if you flip it over too much, there's the Bermuda Triangle that you can get into, which plays as a hazard, or you can get OB in the parking lot if you go long. So looks like Daniel's pulling out whatever overstable disc he threw on the last hole.
I believe it's a destroyer.
A little short, but that is definitely safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an outside look at it.
And you can tell here the wind is definitely picking up. And it's hard to tell whether you want to throw what you were throwing the past few rounds or disc up. And that was a nice wide hyzer from Jeremy.
Oh, great bounce.
Skipping in there. I think he's just outside the circle, maybe at 40, 45 feet.
Yeah, I got a clean look at it though.
And I'm discing up here. I'm throwing that glow PD2 again, just so I know that it's going to fight the wind.
This looks wonderful.
Ooh.
And
Whoa.
unfortunately beat those, got to the pine needles instead of the grass.
Oh, good stop.
Huge
Edwin.
flare.
Edwin got a little turn on this one, but it looks like it's high enough. Did he end up safe?
Barely.
Yeah, he did.
Sitting in
Just
7th
barely.
fairway, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he might be feeling that last hole a little bit, but that was a perfect upshot from Edwin.
Not more you can ask for from there. Daniel just laying up for his par.
Jeremy with the go-ahead 2 here.
Ah, just barely missed it.
Just a low dinker. Still trying to fight those nerves.
So no birdies for lead card on this hole. But not too much harm done either.
Which is uncommon. You usually see at least somebody on the card getting a 2.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Hole 7, 325 feet. Again, you're going to be throwing over that hazard. And it plays more like 360, 370. You're going to want to hang it out wide to be able to get into the space right underneath the trees to get up to the basket.
This is one of the only open holes at the Cherry Hill course, at least for the normal 18. That looks wonderful.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
crushed.
and I believe he was throwing an eagle there. An 11 or 12 time eagle that he's been ripping on the past couple rounds. And it's just a straight shooter for him.
You can see Jeremy checking the wind on the trees, and there's an American flag in the back that's a pretty decent indicator of what it's doing.
And I don't know exactly where that one finished off.
What are you throwing here? PD2 again?
Yeah, usually I throw lotes here. But with this wind, I just wanted to disc up, and unfortunately just threw it way too early. Let it go early. Ended up in that big tree. Not where you want to be. Takes the 2 right out of play.
Edwin with a little hyzer flip. Looks like he's a little early left as well.
Skips in there.
He'll have a long bit at it.
Yeah.
Are you running this putt?
As much as I'd like to.
That tree decided to say no.
Yeah. It was like a in-between shot for me and just didn't
Ooh.
pan out.
Great 2 for Edwin there.
Nicely done.
That
Jeremy,
was a
cash
good one.
money. You tapping in your 3. You can see all these guys clearing off spots where they're setting their feet. There's thick layer of pine needles on most of this course on the greens.
Yeah. Hole 8, 315 uphill. Plays a little bit more like 350. If You want that hyzer to come in and skip over to the left there.
This is a different basket placement than the two previous rounds. Yep.
Indeed, yeah. This is the longer position.
This one's quite a bit more guarded, and the OB line between 2's fairway and 8's fairway is going to come much more into play on this hole, or on this pin.
Again, this is this eagle, I believe.
Right at the cameraman.
Yep. I think that's number 3.
My cameraman should have stayed by the pin.
Daniel probably would have hit the basket then, huh?
Yeah.
Here's Jeremy.
That looked like a good pull.
Wide hyzer. Needs a big skip. Got him.
Oh, long.
Yeah.
Jeremy's from Tri-Cities. He's used to throwing big shots.
And I'm sure he's used to this wind, too. I've heard there's a lot of wind out that way.
Yep. Edwin a little early left, maybe? Yep, he's parked for the short pin, but going to have a circle 2 putt for the pin we're in today. Is this your workhorse PD2 again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Windy days like this, just stable up and...
Yep. Just keep throwing it.
Yep.
I think you're looking pretty good there.
Parked.
That one worked out pretty well. That's got to feel good going into the kind of the scoring section of the course.
Right.
Cash
Great
that.
putt.
Fantastic.
But these guys are keeping the pressure. I mean, their mistakes are still being pars, and I got a lot to work towards if I'm going to take this one down.
We had live scoring during this round. Were you guys checking it, or not
no,
so much?
I wasn't personally. I don't know about the other guys. They could have been.
Jeremy with an unfortunate reaction off that tree, but able to tap in his par. Nice birdie, Huntington.
Thank you.
2s always feel good.
Hole 9, 235 feet, playing up the hill. There's a telephone pole right in the middle of this fairway, and in previous days the basket's been just to the right of it, but for this round it's going to be right behind it, about 20 feet. Plays quite a bit further than that 235 indicates, probably closer to 300.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be throwing understable fairways here, maybe even for the smaller arms throwing distance drivers, because that elevation just plays so much farther.
Daniel got his little nose up, so he's going to end up just a hair short, but he's still putting for birdie.
Forehand Rask?
Yeah. I usually throw a backhand falk here, but with this wind, it was just wild, so I decided to do something I was really confident and comfortable with, and
Looks like it worked out.
yep.
Yep, indeed.
Probably 18 from the basket, 15 feet.
Jeremy's got that slow run up, but then, man, his pull through is quick.
It's wicked fast.
Generates a lot of power. Fortunately, it's a little early left that time.
Edwin opting for the backhand play.
Stripe show right down the middle. Oh, and a nice kick at the end, too. It's
Yeah,
about
they'll be
circle's
having a
edge.
bid there. Jeremy with his upshot.
Whoa. Okay.
He might have been trying to give that one a bid. I'm not sure. Ends up just a little past the basket.
Edwin for birdie. Just off the top. Thankfully, no roll on that one. I'm sure he was having flashbacks to hole 5 there for a second. Jeremy with a tough air ball there. He's going to be out again.
That was a good comeback putt.
Indeed. Gotta feel good.
This is for Daniels 2.
Beautiful putt.
Might have ended up a little bit closer than I thought. Ooh.
Top chains on those Mach
Feeling
3.
shaky there, boys.
Got a little lucky on that
Very
one.
flirty there.
But a birdie's a birdie.
But he's a birdie.
Right, in is in. Hole 10, 235 feet. We have two positions here. One is completely dead straight of the telephone pole that we just passed, and this one is now in the considered deep position to the right. So you're going to have to throw a backhand turnover shot, or the forehand play is definitely an option also.
And just like hole 9, this plays quite a bit further than the measured distance since you're throwing uphill.
Right, and Daniel just perfectly puts it up there.
That's the gap you want to hit. You're looking to follow his vapor trail.
Right. I'm throwing a Valentine's Day edition Grim here. And I like these because you can put them on hyzer and they'll flip up to flat, but I totally missed the hyzer play and threw it flat, and that's why I turned over.
Edwin looks like he's lining up the turnover. Is that like a beat up Wraith or something?
Yeah, or maybe a destroyer. I'm not sure.
Either
Works.
way,
Yeah.
very nice shot.
Parked.
Jeremy testing the footing. After all the rain that you guys had yesterday, I don't blame him one bit.
Jeremy with the backhand turnover, and it looks like he's putting himself up there pretty close to the pin also.
All right, you got a pretty long bid here. Are you going for it or laying up?
Yeah, I was going for it.
You punt with the berg there?
Yeah, that was a berg. And then unfortunately just missed that one.
Nerves must be getting to you guys.
Yeah.
I've played plenty with all four of you, and
That's uncharacteristic also.
normally these putts go in.
Oh, man.
Apparently you didn't want to make it.
Yeah, it was rough to say the least. That was a big hit I took.
After putting up good numbers yesterday, Edwin's still over par for this round, so I'm sure he's looking to turn it around with 12 holes to go.
Yeah, first is not, out of play for him. He could definitely take this one down.
Yep.
Yeah. Hole 11, 210 downhill. Looks like it's in the same position as it was previously. A couple different plays here. There's a good plinko play. If you can get over the top and let it trickle down, that seems the best footage.
Otherwise,
Pick
you're
and
going to
set.
be throwing a touch forehand or touch backhand shot with a slower disc.
And this one is in a slightly different pin position than was on video. It's just behind all those trees instead of in the middle of them. It
So it's a little
up,
bit deeper.
yeah, opens up this little forehand play that so far Daniel and now Edwin are looking to do. Tough shot though. There's a really specific gap you got to hit, and if you hit it too well, just like Edwin did, you
And got clean.
end up way long. He's probably got 80 feet
Yeah.
coming back up.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
he threw a Firebird there.
Wow, that was a straight skip for a Firebird.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Jeremy trying the same thing. Nice little rollout at the end.
Great
Yeah.
shots there.
I'm throwing the stall here. I usually like the thumber play, but that wind was ripping so much this day that I decided to throw this forehand route.
Big skip.
And I almost hit the cameraman. These guys don't get paid enough for that.
Edwin looks like he's kind of in the bush a little bit, but should be able to get out of there
Yeah,
no
but you're
problem.
right. It's about 80 feet. Ooh.
Not quite, but
That was
parked
a
for his
great
par.
up.
That's
Yeah.
a great touch.
Daniel for 2. Doesn't want any part of that.
No.
Oh, that's a smart
Laying
play
up.
there.
Should have done a little bit more laying up this weekend, I have a feeling.
Yeah. Just a softy putt.
Yep.
I'm okay with the 3-year.
Yep. Jeremy looking for his birdie. Cash money.
Yep, he connects.
Daniel tapping in. Edwin tapping in, and Huntington also to clean up.
Right behind him.
Yep. looks like that's it for our first 11 holes. Apex Open Round 3, Front 11. Daniel Pfaff leading the pack at 22 under. Edwin Rodriguez, 19 under. Jeremy Salvi, 16 under. And Huntington Coates, you're trailing your card, sitting at 13 under. And I know there's people on the chase card that are pressing. So
Yep.
Make
Right
the
behind
moves.
us.
there you go. Brandon Green's moved up into 4th. He's sitting on chase card. Josh Hatcher in 5th. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting last 11 holes. So stay tuned for back 11.
Indeed. Moves to be made.